Okay, so yesterday I filmed a video. It was very interesting, and it still is very interesting, and you guys will see that soon. But basically, I prefaced the video with, I'm writing a book, okay? I've written a book, actually, and it's going to be out soon, and it's going to be really amazing, but the problem is it takes a long time for books to get manufactured. They gotta print them up or something like that. I say in the video, you know, the thing about the book's coming soon, but we're just gonna do this other thing for now. Well, the book that I wrote came in the mail today, and I am so excited that I'm gonna take this and just push it back for some other time so we can talk about the books now. That being said, you're gonna have to excuse next week's video because it was filmed before this one. Are you guys ready for this? Are you ready? I'm not sure if you guys are prepared for this. It's called Ow Ow What's This? I'm not sure if that's how you want to pronounce it. A Guide to the Furry Fandom. Now, let's take a step back here, guys. Like a week ago or something, I was in the shower, and I'm not saying I only shower every week, but what I'm trying to say is this specific shower, I was thinking like, hey, you know what? I should really write a book. I've wanted to write a book my entire life, right? I've always been really into sciencey things. I remember when I was a kid, I would read these DK Eyewitness books, and they were my favorite thing. When I actually write a DK Eyewitness book, I know I will have made it. But until then, I said, you know, hey, I should write a book, and it should be something about like how to do YouTube stuff or something. But I was like, this is only the beginning of my YouTube career, so I think that's probably not, it doesn't make a lot of sense. But you know those For Dummy books where it's like, hey, you know, how to use Microsoft Paint for Dummies? What if I wrote that? Only it was about what a furry is. You could give it to your parent or something to try to explain what a furry is. And this is how this came to be. I got 4 pre-production copies, I believe. So let me take you guys, let me give you a tour. I'm really quite proud of this. You got the back here, you know, and then you got the front. This is amazing. It's matte, like it feels very nice. I'm very impressed with it. In fact, these copies were made in the USA. I can't guarantee that they're always going to be made in the USA because that's up to Amazon. If you look in the back here, made in the USA. So if that sort of thing's important to you, you know, very exciting. Another goal with this book is I wanted to write it in a very furry way. And one page here, so I can just sort of get the gist across here. Oh, here it is. So right above the picture of Majira, actually on the other page. So this is page 13. By the way, thanks to Majira for giving me permission to use their picture in this book. I think I might send them a copy. I'm not sure yet. You know, Avery, what is a fursuit? Well, let me tell you. A fursuit is something someone wears to become fuzzy wuzzy UWU rubs. Oh my gosh, this is so amazing. Guys, this is a real book, okay? Right now, on Amazon, you can get this book. I think it's on Prime. You know, if you look at the back, it has an ISBN, which is what all books have, like it's a code. Oh man, it's so amazing. It couldn't get any better. I tried to make it pretty cheap, right? I don't expect a lot of people to buy this. I'm barely making anything off this book every time it gets sold. But one of the things I wanted to do is, if you look in the front, it says, a tree will be planted for every paperback copy of this book sold. I know you're like, whoa, that's a big commitment there, Avery. If you think about this here, this isn't a full tree, but obviously I always feel bad when I'm like, hey, you know, don't be bad into the environment, and then you write a book and like you kill an entire forest of trees. So, as I'm sure that's a problem we all have. So, what I'm going to do is, seeds are actually really cheap. Every time a copy is bought, I'm going to be able to buy some seeds in bulk, plant them. I'll probably get some sort of like slower growing tree, so I'll be able to just hold on to them when they're seedlings. Like when they're small, I'll be able to hold on to them, and I'll figure out some place to plant them. I'm sure there's some place. I'm not expecting this book to sell that much, but if it does, you know, I think it's gonna be a cool thing, because not only is it a meme and it's like it's something to check off my bucket list, but it's also helping the environment while we're at it, you know? This is just, I can't believe this is real. Oh, well, what's this? A Guide to the Furry Fandom by Avery Miller. On the back, what I was trying to go for here is a lot of books have like a black and white author picture on the back, and that's what I was trying to go for. Be yourself unapologetically. Now let the memes begin. Okay, it's so great. It's in color. Every so often you find these little notes in it that, oh wow, what's this? It's a note. This is an example note. Notes about different topics or different colors. I don't think I actually did any one that was a different color, which is why you shouldn't write a book in a couple days. Setting that small misstep aside, okay, let me go over some of my favorite chapters here. How to use this book, which is obviously very useful. You have what is a furry, what is an Avery, that's a very important one. Important furry vocab. Now this is just really really important. So we go over stuff like blep, what is a partial, what's a fat, what's a paw bean, what's a boop, you know, all the necessities to be able to join into the furry culture and understand things. You have like definitions on more niche stuff, like this is something that I don't see a lot of people being able to define, but boopy is the person getting booped, and the booper refers to the appendage that someone uses to boop the boopy, or simply the person who does the boop, which it's very important, and not a lot of people know that distinction, so I thought it would be something of note. One of my other favorites on page 18 here, the definition of popufur. This is typically used to refer to a furry who has a large social media following. Occasionally, I've seen it used as an insult to suggest someone has an inflated ego, but also may simply quantitate somebody's popularity. For example, Jack's Films is a popufur, which I thought was a good little reference there. I mean, it's all here. We got an introduction to Furry Art, where I go through the different types of art. You know, you have headshots, refs, chibis, or whatever you call it. A lot of artists contributed to this, thanks to this is I'm a Sea Urchin, who did a really good. That's traditional art. This is Mudsy, more Mudsy. Remorgs on the back. Remorgs does amazing stuff. At some point, I would really like to make a book that is full of all the fan art I've gotten and like have it in year issues where it's 2017. This is all the fan art I got in 2017 because I think that would be a really cool idea. This is awesome, okay? I'm ecstatic about this. I got 4 copies. I am going to keep one. I'm going to send one to Ocelot 4000. I'm going to sign it and send it to them because they have been supporting me on Patreon for such a long time. I really want to give them a big pat in the back. Now, obviously, I love all my Patreon people, and every person who is subscribed to my Patreon gets an ebook copy of this, where you can read it online. And I'm also debating doing an audiobook, which I could actually do and put up on Patreon, and I could actually probably get it on Audible or something. I'm not sure how that works. I'll have to look into it. Let me give you a preview of that there. Ow Ow, What's This? A Guide to the Furry Fandom by Avery Miller. Narrated by Avery Miller. Could make this an ASMR video. The first edition of Ow Ow, What's This? A Guide to the Furry Fandom was published in 2018. Text and some image. Oh, that's something fun. I haven't mentioned this, but all my videos now, I'm doing a thing where the copyright lasts 10 years. I want to do like a video about this because I find it, I think it would be an interesting topic to talk about. But copyright law in the United States and in the world is a little bit sketch. When it first started out, it was something like, hey, if you create a work, you are able to keep the rights to it for 30 years. You can make money off of it, so you can provide the public with more works, and then after 30 years it goes into the public domain, so everybody can get it, and it's like and it goes to like the better of the world. I think in the early 1800s or 1900s or something, somewhere along there, somebody came along and was like, no, that's not enough. So it got boosted up to like, I think 50 years, and then like 70 years, then 100 years. Flash forward to now, it's the lifetime of the author plus either 50 or 75 years. I think it depends on the type of work or something. I'm not a lawyer, but that's my understanding. And at first you're like, wow, that's cool, but I think it's really detrimental personally because like that means that nothing is going into the public domain. And the people who really lobbied behind that was Disney, because their copyrighted works were about to go into the public domain. If copyright was still the way it originally was, the original Star Wars movie would be in the public domain. Disney, Lucasfilm, they've made a bunch of money off of it, enough money for them to be able to sustain themselves, and it goes into the public domain, and then anybody can add on to it. It can be distributed publicly. But what I'm trying to say is all my videos will go into the public domain 10 years after they're uploaded. I figure 10 years gives me plenty of time to make some money off of them so I can not go bankrupt, which would be nice. Then they go into the public domain. Anybody can edit them, change them, upload them themselves. This In 2028, we'll go into the public domain, and anybody will be able to reproduce it or modify it. 2028, I'm not even sure if furries are going to still be a thing, but you know, fingers crossed. I go into a thing about life hacks from Avery, about like mean people, mean furries in the fandom, which is an interesting thing if you want to hear me talk about that. Be chill, be fun is my last piece of advice in this. I'm so excited, and it's great. I'm just, you say Avery, you know, I've listened to your pitch. I need this in my life. What do I do? Go over to Amazon. It's a new website. I'm not sure if you've heard about it. Flash to a news thing about how all these states are trying to give Amazon tax breaks so they can move into their city. Okay, let's not get into that. Avery Miller. Look through Avery Miller. You say, what? What's this? What's this? This, actually, Cool Games Mobile. That was an app I tried to make at some point. It failed, so don't download that. This is what you gotta download. I mean, this is what you have to buy. Ow, ow, what's this? A Guide to the Furry Fandom, paperback. It's here. It's available. It's Prime. You can get it in only a couple days, possibly made in the USA, but no reviews yet. I'm sure I'll get some good reviews from some of you guys. Only $9, that's it. I would have liked to have gotten it down a little bit more, but like Amazon charges a price for how much the book costs, and then they take like half of the profit made off of it, and if I want to be able to plant trees, have to make some money off of it. So ow, wow, what's this? A Guide to the Furry Fandom is your introduction to the cute and weird world of the furry fandom. Written by an actual furry named Avery, you'll be introduced to key furry vocabulary, learn how to commission art, and more. Now, the thing I think is really important here, this is like a furry to English dictionary, right? I think I mentioned in like the first chapter, I think I've clearly established that this manuscript was written mostly as a joke, a furry encyclopedia that you could buy for your parents, for example, so they can decode your strange Twitter ramblings is like the funniest thing I can think of. Let me plug my Patreons here before we wrap it up here. Top donator this month is Ember, right? Is that right? I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing that. I've known them on Twitter for quite a long time, and they started donating. Really appreciate it. Thank you. Shout out to all my other Patreons. Ocelot as well. Thanks to all my Patreons listed here. Thank you guys. Would you guys like to see an audiobook? Also, to the people who aren't my Patreons, I want to let you guys in on a little secret. All my videos are available 24 hours early on Patreon. So if you want to see my videos early, you can pledge like $1 and you can see my videos early if you're interested in that sort of thing. This is a dream of mine. I'm so glad to get this published. I just need it to be in several libraries. Obviously, I'm not condoning this, but I might do it myself. Just walk into a bookstore and put it on the shelf. Just donate it. And it's like, hey, do you want me to donate a book to you? And they're like, oh, wow, sure. What type of book is it about? It's like, furries. Ha, you got pranked. You don't want it anymore. I have a video idea, and I would like to get a leaf insect. Do you know what a leaf insect looks like? This is what a leaf insect looks like. I've always wanted one, and I was thinking about buying one. They're like a stick bug, only they look like leaves, and I would love to buy one and make a video about it. I did a little poll. If you guys think that would be something you'd like to see, let me know. It's just such a cool insect, and I really want one. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe. I really appreciate it. You can also follow me on Twitter, and you can also find my videos on Vimeo. I really like to plug my Vimeo because it's like a backup if something ever happened to my YouTube channel, which is unfortunately something that happens these days. YouTube, let's not do that. You can check that out if you would like. You can also find the link to my book in the description, $9. If you buy it, I will plant a tree for you. Thanks for watching, guys. Thanks for buying my book. Tell me what you think of this. Love you guys. Goodbye. I got to answer the door, actually. Hey, it's Avery. I'm back for a second. I almost forgot to mention that last video, I had these 50-cent paws I was going to give away or something. I've decided who I'm giving those away to. So they are Enki the Corgi Butt. That's a good one. And Alexander Pony. I have decided are the winners for those, so I will be sending those paws off to them. If you guys weren't selected and you're sort of disappointed, stay tuned because I've done contests like that before and I might do some more, so, you know. I got some really good fan art from, I can't pronounce their username, but their name is Koi on Twitter, so very good. Thank you. Like it. Hey, it's Avery. I'm back the next day and my autofocus is still not working. Great. I just wanted to say thank you guys because the response on Twitter about this book has been insane. So I appreciate it. I know Majira tweeted about it. Very exciting. I hope this video is well received as well. Anyways, talk soon. Bye.